Hello children, welcome to the online classes of Mother House India Public School. Today we are going to discuss about the electric generator and the domestic electric circuit. So let us begin with this. Electric generator. An electric generator converts the mechanical energy into the electrical energy by rotating the conductor in the magnetic field. So electric generator works on the principle of EMI, that is electromagnetic induction. When a straight conductor is moved in the magnetic field, then current is induced in the conductor. There are two types of electric generator, the AC generator and the DC generator. Let us first study about the AC and DC. AC is known as the alternating current which reverses its direction periodically. In India, the AC reverses its direction in every 1/100 seconds. That is, the frequency of the generator will be 50 Hz. As time period is inversely proportional to the frequency, so you can find out the frequency. Now, what are the advantages of AC generator? It can be transmitted over long distances without much loss of the power. And the disadvantage is it cannot be stored. Now the DC, direct current. The direction is in one way only. It does not change periodically. So DC is direct current which is moving in one direction only. DC can be stored. It can be stored in the batteries, in the cells, but it cannot be transmitted over long distances, as there will be a loss of energy due to heating. An electric generator consists of an rectangular coil ABCD of insulated copper wire called the armature, placed between the two poles of a permanent magnet. The end of the armature are connected to the two rings called as the slip rings, which are insulated from inside. The two brushes are pressed against the two slip rings, and these are attached internally to the axle, which can be rotated mechanically from outside to rotate the coil inside the magnetic field. The two brushes are then connected to the galvanometer to detect the current. Let us see the construction once again. A generator consists of the rectangular coil, that is the armature, a strong horseshoe magnet consisting of two poles, north and south pole, and the coil, that is armature, is placed perpendicular to the magnet. There are two rings, R1 and R2, which are externally connected to the two brushes B1 and B2. Now these two brushes B1 and B2 are connected to the galvanometer to show the current flow in the circuit. The inner side of the ring is insulated and attached to the axle, which is rotated mechanically to move the coil within the magnetic field. Now let us discuss about the working of the electric generator. When the coil rotates clockwise, AB moves upward and the CD arm moves downward. According to the Fleming's left-hand rule, the current moves from A to B and then from C to D. You can see the current moving from B to B1 after half the rotation of the coil. AB is at the back and CD is at the front. So AB starts moving outward and CD inwards. The current induced in AB is from B to A and in CD from D to C. The current flows from B1 to B2 in the external circuit. You can see the current is changing the phase, and this can be shown in the graph. This graph is showing the AC, alternating current. The current changes direction after every half the rotation of the coil. Thus it is alternating in nature. To change it to a DC generator, we need to change the rings into a split ring type of a commutator, and the direction of the current will be in one way. You can see the difference between the two generator AC and DC. The whole construction is same. The only difference is of the rings. In case of a AC generator, we are used two rings, R1 and R2. In case of a DC generator, we will be using the split rings. A split ring will make the direction of the current to be unidirectional. So the one arm is always in contact with one brush which is moving up and the other which is moving down, so that the direction of the current remains the same. You can see the electric generator, and this is the working of the generator. Please go through it. Already I have explained you with the help of the video, so please go through it. Now discussing about the domestic electric circuit. Electricity is generated at the power station and supplied to our houses with the help of the three cables that comes to the transformer and then to the electricity pole next to our houses. There are two wires, the live wire at a potential of 220 volts and a neutral wire at the ground potential of 0 volt. The live wire has a red insulation covering, whereas the neutral wire has a black insulation covering. The live and the neutral wire from the electric pole come to the domestic electric meter box fitted in our houses. The live wire passes through the fuse and enters the meter box. The two wires coming out of the meter box is then connected to the main switch, which switches off the electricity supply whenever required to stop the flow of the electricity. That is in case of an emergency like short circuit. There are usually the two circuits in the houses, the lightning circuit of 5 ampere fuse and a power circuit of a 15 ampere fuse. The lightning circuit runs the low power rating devices like fan, bulbs, television, etc. And the power circuit is used for high power rating devices like room heaters, AC, microwaves, geysers, etc. Now each distribution circuit is provided with a separate fuse, like you have the MCB for the different rooms. So if there is a fault in any of the circuit or in any of the room, then the circuit of the other room is in working. All the domestic circuit is in parallel. Now with the live and the neutral wire, there is a third wire known as the earth wire, which has green insulation. One end of the earth wire is connected to the copper plate which is buried deep under the earth. Now you can see the three wires, the live wire, the neutral wire and the earth wire, having the different colors. The earth wire is of green color, live is of red color and the neutral is of black color. The three colors given to the wire is to differentiate between the three different wires in the circuit line. Now here you can see the circuit of a room. You can see the bulbs and the fan connected to the different switches on the switchboard. Now the three different wires, that is the live, neutral and the earth wire, comes to the room, separate rooms, and then they reach to the socket board. This is a plug you can see which is connected to the three different wires. This is how the connections are made, and the three wires are having the different colors. Why is earthing important? To avoid the risk of shock, the body of electrical appliances are earthed, so that if in case there is any leakage of current, then the electricity is directly passed on to the earth, which is at zero potential. So you can see it over here why the earthing is important. Suppose with the time you take a electric iron, the wire gets wear and tear. So if the wire is touching the metallic case of the iron, and if you happen to touch that iron, you will get a shock. So if the socket is having the earth wire, then the current will directly go to the earth instead of giving the fatal shock. The third pin in the socket, which is a thicker one, is for the earthing. Due to wearing and tearing of the wires, the insulation sometimes may get removed and the live wire may come in direct contact with the neutral wire accidentally, which may cause the sparks, and this causes the short circuiting. It can also lead to the fire. Now the next is overloading. When too many appliances are connected in the same socket, then it is known as overloading, or the current drawn is more than the capacity of the conductor, which may cause the spark or heating or melting of the plug. This is also known as overloading. There are few safety devices to protect the electric circuit. One of this is fuse. You can see a small wire, a thin plated copper wire whose melting point is low, so that when the current more than the required amount, that is suppose 5 ampere is coming, so if the current exceeds the value, then the wire gets heated up due to the heating effect of the current and melts. Thus the circuit will break and there will be no harm to the electric devices. We have different type of the circuit. This is a miniature circuit breaker. Generally we see it in our houses now, that is MCB. Now you can see this type of electric fuse in the vehicles or in the inverters. As electricity is very important, but it may be dangerous also sometime. If a person happens to touch a live wire, he may get severe burns or in some cases may even die. The short circuiting or overloading can cause fire. The loose connections also may cause fire or sparking in the electric circuits. If a person happens to touch the live wire or there is a short circuiting or overloading in the electric circuit, then the main switch of the MCB should be tripped off immediately to stop the electricity. If a person happens to touch the live wire, then he should be removed with the help of an insulated substance like wood or plastic, and should not be directly pulled up by the other person. Then the electrical appliances should not be touched with wet hand, otherwise you may cause a electric short. Shock. Good quality electric material should be used for the electric wiring in the houses. There should not be too many appliances connected to the socket. One socket should have one electric appliance connected to it. Now with this we come to the end of the chapter 2, magnetic effect of electric current. I hope you all must have understood the chapter. Children, please make the notes of the chapter and keep the record with you. It will be evaluated as soon as the school reopens.